Well, hello to a new episode of the Nelboeweb podcast. uh, welcome. Well, maybe you've noticed that the previous episode, I believe, was my 50th episode. And I'm a little bit proud of that because I can remember that my nervous system was sabotaging me or my growth, and by not doing the things that I had to do, by not doing the things that I knew were making a difference inside my business, because my nervous system wasn't ready for the glow up or the growth. So it made sure that I wasn't posting my episodes, or it took me a long time to consistently post. It took me a long time to become visible like that and to share what is on my mind, because in the beginning you think you don't have to say anything because you think, well, I already said this, so why would I say it again? Because nobody wants to hear it anymore. But that isn't correct, because the things that you are saying and the content that you are putting out in your mind, it is a lot and you repeat a lot. But for other people, they're not in your mind, they're not inside your head, so they cannot see how many times you explain something. They don't see everything that you are posting or telling. And so my nervous system was telling me that I didn't have anything new to say, so that became an excuse to not post. And this is one of the many things that kept me from posting. So I'm a little proud that I am serving my 51 episode today, if that's the correct English. I don't know, doesn't matter, but that's not what I want to talk about today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is happening inside my life right now. And I'm also thinking about posting more podcasts, like 2 or 3 times a week. Because maybe you've noticed, but I'm also posting blogs recently on my website, and I think I want to make a podcast about every blog also, because when I'm telling or talking about a subject, there's always more coming into my mind that I can explain further, because the blog posts are like 5-minute reads, and when I talk about these things that I post about, there are always coming up more ideas and things that happened around a certain subject, also with my clients, so I can dive even deeper in my podcast episode. So I was thinking about doing that, and don't hesitate if you think this is a good idea, just send me a message. So that's an idea. Then, so I'm going to talk about one of my blogs, and the topic of today is why your nervous system is sabotaging your growth. This is a very important one. The things that I told you in the beginning of the episode are all also included around this topic. So your nervous system will always sabotage your growth. That's something that I will talk about later, but now I want to tell you a little about what is happening inside my life right now. So today we are Monday, 3rd of August. And in 2 days, I will leave back to Belgium. And I will be in Belgium for 1 week. Yeah. And I feel a little... It's like both sides. Dylan left yesterday evening. So today I woke up and it was very strange to be alone, to be back alone, because I arrived here early. I arrived here before him. So it doesn't matter that I'm alone in Bali, but it's very strange to be here back alone. You know, we were staying in the same apartment and now he's gone. He doesn't come back. It's like he just left me. And he was telling me the same, like he told me, like, I feel like I'm letting you down. I feel like I'm leaving you, or that I am not supporting you. It feels very strange to me as well. So we agree on the feeling, and it just I'm happy to feel this, because I'm happy that I'm not just glad that he's away and that I can have my own space back. I'm happy that it's strange to not have him around. That's a good sign, and I'm always happy to miss him, or to find it strange that he's not around me. So that's what is happening right now. It was a little strange, and today I cried a little, because I think it's a little grief. I'm a little grieving, because he isn't here anymore, and he isn't coming back anymore. You know, that's grief to the body, and that's okay. So in 2 days I will follow him as well, and then we are staying in Belgium for 1 week, and I'm very curious about how that is going to be. I'm looking forward to be back in Belgium. The thing that I don't look forward to is the flight. I don't like the long flights, because it's also not good on my nervous system. So I'm looking forward to go back. But after that week, we are going to Paraguay. And I'm also looking forward to that, because there are some things that are very, very important that are going to happen there. So I'm very excited. We are going to, or I am going to normally get my resident permit, my permanent resident permit. So it's very, very exciting. I'm very excited, and also a lot of things that are about to happen around these things. But I'm not going to go deeper into that, because if you want to know that, just send me a message. Well, I already told you last week about being sick, and it's very strange, because it felt like I had a hard time to recover from the whole trip, because so much happened here. And there are a lot of insights that I received, and I think that the insights will kick in when I'm back in Belgium and leaving for Paraguay. I wrote a lot the last days. I also cried a lot, and I did a lot of yoga. But the trips to Bali are always insane. Like, there's always a lot happening here for me. And I don't come here, or I don't go back home the same person that I came, as the same person that I came here. I'm always a different person when I leave Bali. always. And I'm taking new things with me, and I'm leaving old things behind. So it's always different when I come here, and I'm very grateful that I had this experience again, and I'm very excited for the future. Very excited for the future. Yeah. Very grateful. So, let's dive into the subject of this podcast. Why your nervous system is I have a hard time pronouncing this word, sabotaging your growth. I don't know how you can say it, but anyway, have you ever felt like you know exactly what to do, but somehow you still don't do it? Like I was telling you before, that I had a hard time recording podcasts or content, or doesn't matter. The things that mattered most were very hard for me to do, even though I knew exactly what I had to do. And also, why do smart, ambitious people keep hitting the same ceiling over and over again? Why does that happen? Maybe you are asking yourself these questions. These are very common questions in someone's mind that is very ambitious. Last question is, what if the problem isn't your mindset, discipline, or strategy? Because we are always thinking, I need to work I need to work on my mindset, I need to work on my discipline, or I need to work on my strategy, I need to change my strategy. And I learned something the other day. You don't have to improve your whole strategy. You have to adjust into the tiny things, you know. Every strategy is working. When you're called to a certain strategy that is with a reason. It doesn't mean that if something isn't working, you have to change your whole strategy. There's so much more behind it, including your nervous system. But you can work around the strategy. There are so many different layers inside a strategy that you can do in a different way. Because, for example, you have a certain strategy for talking to your clients, or talking to your the people that are potential clients. This is a strategy. You use a strategy. The strategy is like in your DM on Instagram, or through the email, or I don't know. But there are so many different ways to use that strategy. You can adjust how you are talking, which energy you are putting out in the conversation, which words you use. Like, a lot of people are thinking that if there's nothing that is happening, if there's nothing happening, they have to change the strategy. I have to do something entirely differently because this isn't working. But it's just adjusting, and it's fine-tuning the strategy that you've chosen. And yeah, sure, you can pick the wrong strategy, but you can dive deeper and deeper and deeper and fine-tune the strategy again and again and again, and improving it again and again and again, until it becomes a solid strategy, you know. But the most important thing is mindset. Also, a lot of people are thinking, no, that's not true what I say. I wasn't thinking, I'm sorry. I need to talk again. So the question was, what if the problem isn't your mindset, discipline, or strategy? And I was explaining to you how you can use your strategy. So strategy, discipline, and mindset aren't the main reasons that people aren't growing, or that they are staying where they are. Discipline also isn't the problem, because discipline is just another form of self-love. You know, if you don't have enough discipline, it means that you cannot hold yourself against the deals you were you weren't hold yourself against the deals that you have made with yourself, because you don't love yourself enough. That's it. Because you don't have enough respect to yourself. And please don't get triggered by this, because I've been there. Everyone has been there, you know? We all needed to learn again to love ourselves. Everyone did. And that's okay. But discipline is just another form of not loving and respecting yourself enough. Because when you love yourself enough, when you respect yourself enough, it's just obvious to do whatever you said yourself you were doing, whatever you told yourself you were about to do. It's obvious because I respect what I was telling myself. I trust myself enough to follow. Your body trusts yourself, you enough to do or follow whatever you tell yourself to do. You know, that's what discipline is. We think that discipline is something that it's hard, that it is doing hard things without wanting to do them. That's not the truth. So it isn't also, it's also not mindset. Mindset is like no, not the sub. It's the, I don't know how you say it. It's the first layer of changing what is inside of your head. You have mindset, and it's like the mindset is like how you can change your perspective. That's mindset. Mindset is how you see things, how you see the world, if you are positive, if you can look into a positive way. That's mindset. Mindset is like, yeah, we'll get through this. It will get better. But there's another layer, and that's the subconscious mind and the nervous system. Subconscious mind is one level deeper. It's like the beliefs, the beliefs that you carry with you underneath everything, and the beliefs that are making you do the things that you do. Like, you don't need to think about it. It just goes that way. For example, you cannot say why you don't do what you need to do, even though you know you need to do it. You cannot tell me or anyone else why you don't do it. It's just because, yeah, I feel it in my body that it's difficult to do it. There is something that keeps holding me back, but I don't know why. That's not mindset. That's something deeper inside. That's something in your subconscious mind, because there is a certain belief that it's not safe for you to let your body do this. So that these are different layers. You know what I think it was very obvious how I told this. So the lie that most people believe is that personal development teaches us that if we change our thoughts, we'll change our lives. That's not true. It's much deeper. Like I told you before, mindset will not change your life. Mindset will change a situation, like in short form. It's deeper. The things that you have to change are deeper to change your life. Because many people already know the right thoughts. You can think positive as much as you like, and maybe you're good at it, but you still stay stuck, and that's why. The real question is, why does change feel so difficult, even when we want it, and even when we know what to do about it? Like, again, that's subconscious mind. It's a nervous system. Your nervous system's real job is not designed to make you successful. It is designed to keep you safe. That's it. And because your nervous system doesn't know what is going to happen if you do the things that you are doing or that you were about to do, because they are different from what you used to do, it will not know what will go to happen and it's not safe, even though you know that it's going to be success. Because for a lot of people, success means heavier things. That's another episode. So safety and growth are not always the same thing. And your body can perceive visibility, money, success, or change as a threat. That's also the previous podcast that I recorded. You can also listen to that one. The concept of neuroception. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for danger. So if your nervous system sees things that are not obvious or that are not known, it will see it as danger. And most of this happens below conscious awareness. So it's in your subconscious mind. You don't consciously choose to feel unsafe. It's just your system. And thank God it is there, because if it wasn't there, maybe you would already run into a car or into the street, because this system inside your body is basically your alarm system. It's there to keep you safe, to know what to do when something unsafe is there. And there's also a part that keeps the past experiences. And it makes sure that's the reason why you react today as if you do, how you react, because it keeps a score. You know, when there's something that has happened, it keeps a score, and it is stored inside of the body. And if something looks like that, the nervous system will again react in the same way to keep you away from it. An example from myself is I used to get bullied. I think I told you guys about this the last episode. The last episode looks a lot like this one, but it doesn't matter. I was bullied, and so my visibility is a big thing, you know, because when I was seen back then, I was not safe. Because when I was crossing the playground on my school and someone would have seen me, I was yelled at, you know. If I crossed the playground and someone saw me, I was yelled at and I was bullied, and I was they made me small. They screamed names at me, and doesn't matter. But for my nervous system, being seen is such a big thing, you know. So my body remembered that. And that's the reason why, to me, it is sometimes difficult to express myself and to show myself on the internet, because this was a big event in my life, you know. I was bullied a lot and very hard. So I'm still stepping over the boundary of being seen. That's what I mean with past experience, that your body keeps a score. So the nervous system states are 3 different states. And the first one is just feeling grounded, calm, and present. I've also created the inner voice triangle. I don't know if you saw it yet. I need to make a podcast episode about that one again, because I did it in Dutch, but I need to do it again and go really deep into what it means, because it's a very good method. It's a very good representation about what is going on inside our heads. So the feeling grounded and calm and present being is like the inner wisdom that we carry around. And it's also a state of being. And it's called the ventral vagal. And when you are in this state, you can create. Your intuition is high and is there, and growth becomes available because your nervous system is safe, because you can be aligned. And this is the state where sustainable success happens, because you're open to receive. Nothing bad is going to happen. You're not making decisions out of scarcity. You're not making decisions out of fear of losing something or fear of not getting something. You're just making decisions because they're the right decisions, because they will lead you towards where you want to be, where you want to go. And it's just, everything is okay, and you feel calm, and you feel grounded, and you feel relaxed. And this is always the right state that you have to make decisions out of. If you have to make a big decision, please do not make this decision if you're not in a nervous system. If your nervous system isn't regulated, please do not make this decision. Make sure your nervous system is safe. You feel safe when you're making big decisions, because your mind cannot even go where it needs to be to make the right decision. You won't find the answer, the right answer, the right decision when you're not in the right state. Because your body literally is telling you the wrong things. Your body isn't telling you the right thing to do. Always regulate yourself before you make a very big decision. Then we have the dorsal vagal. The freeze and shut down. It has everything to do with procrastination, with numbness, feeling stuck despite knowing what you do. So that's the state of the inner child. Because when the inner child is overwhelmed, it always will procrastinate. It always becomes numb. It always wants to hide. It's very passive. It's also the feminine state. Because if you're too much in your feminine energy, you will hold back. And you will think like, I don't have to take action. I just want to be. I just want to go lay under I don't know. I cannot come on the name. I just want to lay and be like in my feminine, and I want to receive, and I don't want to do much. And so it can be masked as being in your feminine. If you're really, really a lot in your feminine, it can be masked as this. So a lot of the times it becomes something when you've been too much in your push. That's something we come the sympathetic fight or flight modus. That's something we go over after this. But when you've been too much inside this one, a lot of bodies are shutting down into the very opposite, because that's the most safe thing to do, because your body always search for balance. The nature always search for balance. But you have to be careful that you don't stay in this mode, that you don't stay in this nervous system state. So yeah, the dorsal vagal is, like I said, it's like the inner child that is coming up, because you're emotional. You don't have. I don't feel like it. Not today. I will start tomorrow. It's all of that. It's when you feel lazy, but you're not lazy. It's like you become a freeze. You're getting in a freeze mode. You're just freezing. And it's, you can compare it to an animal. Animals have a lot of different reactions. When they are experiencing danger, they react in a lot of ways. And it's the same thing that our mind is doing. Like, some animals attack. Some animals are fleeing, like they are running away. But some animals also just freeze and keep still until the danger is gone. But to us, some things, like for example, making content, isn't going away. So it's either you that will have peace with making the content, and then you need to go to the nervous system state and also to your subconscious mind, because you have a belief around making content that it is not safe. So your nervous system will react to that subconscious belief, and that it is not safe, so you will go into the freeze state. And as long as you don't change the belief, it will react this way. But you can have this freeze mode because, for example, again, making content isn't safe in your subconscious mind, even though you know it's safe. And it has nothing to do with being lazy. It's just a response of your nervous system to keep you safe from being seen. And that's like inner child or feminine energy. The third nervous system state is the sympathetic nervous system state, the fight or flight. The first one that I talked about is when these two are in balance, like you're in the feminine and masculine energy in the right way. So the fight or flight or sympathetic nervous system state is the hustle mode. High functioning anxiety, for example. Constant pushing, proving, chasing, going forward, not stopping. And a lot of people that have been a long time into this state are dropping into the other state, the freeze and shut down state. Because it is not working to keep in the fight or flight. And it's very scary to go back there. So your body is going to react in a way like, I for sure don't want to go back there because I've been there and it is not safe to be in the hustle mode. It is not safe to high function. So that is also a thing that can make sure that you won't go back into action or go get what is yours, because your body is remembering when you were doing these things and it was not safe because it maybe brought you a burnout or something. And to a lot of women, especially when they have experienced a burnout or they have been too long in the hustle mode, they will experience the complete opposite first before they can find their balance between the two. And I can see that a lot with, for example, clients that are coming into my world. They have been in hustle mode first, but now they're in like the procrastination phase because they feel such a big I don't know how you say it. They feel like, I don't want to be in the hustle mode anymore. I cannot take action because I feel so much disgust, that's maybe a big word, but towards the hustle mode or the action or, and then they start procrastination because the body needs to find balance again. And a lot of entrepreneurs mistake this for ambition. This is not ambition. This is, again, a nervous system response to make sure that you're not in danger. Because for a lot of entrepreneurs, when you fall into this stillness, it's not safe, because it means that you're not growing, it means that you're not moving forward, it means that you're not putting your potential into this world. So they take it for ambition. Oh man, I can go so deep into these things. I am already recording for one and a half an hour. So I want to go to the next thing. So the cycle most high achievers live in is push, burn out, recover, push again. Or maybe in between there's something like push, burn out, procrastinate, recover, push again. That's also a cycle that is happening. And that's because of that they don't take on upon the root. They don't look to the root. They don't look to the subconscious mind. And when you don't change the subconscious mind to which your nervous system is responding to, it will stay that way, because your body doesn't feel safe with the things that you want to do or with the things you have been doing. And if you don't look into the subconscious that is causing the reaction of the nervous system, it will just repeat and repeat and repeat, because you're not working on the right layer. Some signs that your nervous system is running the show is you achieve results, but you can't maintain them, because they are not coming from a grounded place. They are not coming from a default modus. They're coming from a state that you're sometimes in. Or you feel anxious even when everything is going well. You're expecting things to go bad, or you're expecting things in a certain way. Or you procrastinate on the things that matter most, like, for example, talking to people to sell your shit. Because you feel like, I don't want to sell, I don't want to be salesy, or how you say it. But how will they ever know what you sell if you're not telling them, or if you're not inviting them to help them? They will never be helped. So it's actually very selfish not to sell to people, but that's also another podcast. Or you sabotage yourself right before a breakthrough, because your nervous system is feeling like, oh my God, I cannot handle this success. And that's also another podcast episode. But your nervous system is like, oh no, I don't want this breakthrough. I don't want this success, because it comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of trouble. I don't want this, because and right before you break through, you're like, I'm stepping back because I cannot handle it. I cannot handle this emotional capacity. That's a thing that can happen. These are examples. And why mindset work often isn't enough, it's because understanding something doesn't mean your body believes it. And that's what I told you, like, about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the sub person, like it's the wingman. It's between your mindset, your life, and your body. It's something you cannot touch. So that's also why following a course, or like, that's why my work is different. You know, I can tell you that my work is very different from a lot of coaches, from a lot of people who are trying to help you, because I'm working with you on inside the root. I'm literally recoding, reprogramming your subconscious mind. And that's where all the bullshit is stored, you know. The bullshit is maybe a hard word, but my work is so freaking different from 80 to 90% of the coaches. Because understanding something, learning something, Doing something different doesn't mean your body believes it. And if your body don't believes it, it is not who you are. It is not your default modus. So you will not be repeating what you're doing now because it is not built in. Your body isn't with you because your subconscious mind is not in the right place. And therefore, your body isn't. You cannot think your way out of a survival response. You can only go out of a survival response either way through your subconscious mind or through your body. You cannot think your way out. And that's what a lot of people do. They keep thinking about what do I need to do different? What can I do now? What can I do next? What is this saying? What does this mean? They keep on thinking and thinking and thinking. They are not taking a step or doing something with their body. They are not taking action. Also, when you're actually in a survival response, like you feel stress or you feel like procrastination, if you move your body, if you go for a walk, if you do yoga, this state can be resolved or dissolved. It can go away because your energy, you start to move the energy in your body. Your nervous system can feel safe again because it can feel again, it can move again. It's a sign to your body that it's safe. There's a very big difference between intellectual understanding and embodied safety. If you understand something, again, it doesn't mean that your body is with you. There's a big difference between feeling safe in your body and knowing something. It's also very common that your next level feels threatening because, again, your body and everything else is not knowing, but that's another podcast, again. It often feels threatening because your body doesn't know it. Your mind doesn't know it. It's not obvious what is going to happen. So don't be mad at yourself when you're feeling a certain way, or when you feel like I'm procrastinating, or I'm moving quickly, I'm operating out of stress, because the goal is always to go back to a balanced state. You will never be always in a balanced state, never. And I feel like that's also a big thing. That's also why my coaching is very different from a lot of the other coaches, is that your identity is a very big thing that needs to change before you can have more money, you can have more visibility, you can have more responsibility, and you can have more success, because your identity is literally the sum of your subconscious mind, your mindset, and your body, your nervous system. That's the sum of the identity is the sum of that, of these 3-4 things. So your identity needs to shift. You need to be literally someone else, because if your subconscious mind and your nervous system is changing, you will become literally someone else, because you're making so different choices. Your decisions will be so different, because you will make decisions based on your subconscious mind and based on what your body mostly feels. And that's what decides what your identity is. And that's also the thing that will change your income, your visibility, your growth, your responsibility, your success. It will change everything. And expansion requires capacity. It requires another default mode. You need to carry more. You need to hold more. And if your subconscious believes that this is something you can do, it will be there, but your subconscious mind, so your identity, needs to change first before you can hold it. And that's also the reason why a lot of people are working through this years and years and years, because if you repeat something long enough, yeah, sure, it will change inside your subconscious mind, but you can go there much faster through hypnosis, for example, or being in a brainwave that the right brainwaves that can receive new beliefs. And then you can go there very fast, much faster than you think. And if you can, even if I'm very good at knowing where you're stuck, so I can very quickly say what needs to change in order to go where you want to go and to change that certain specific, very specific limiting belief. That's my power. That's my superpower. I can pin right through anything you say and do on where the problem is, so that it can happen very, very fast. Doesn't mean that it doesn't need repetition. Everything needs repetition, but if you want to do it like just on your own pace and like the mindset thing and repeating, not in a right state or not working in the right layer, it will take years to install something new inside your subconscious mind. So yeah, expansion requires capacity. And haven't you felt like when something very big was happening, like it was an event in your life that changed your life, haven't you noticed that when this thing was in the past, suddenly you can hold more. Suddenly the small things that were stressing you out aren't touching you anymore. That's when your default mode is going, or went to a next level. That's what I mean with expansion requires capacity. Yeah, I'm thinking if I need to say more, because I'm already speaking a long time. I'm just going to go over quickly what you can do about it, how to start regulating your nervous system. The first thing you need to do is become aware of what is happening in your body. Always becoming aware. The second thing is asking, what do I feel when I think about the next level, or when I think about what I was thinking about? What do I feel? Where do I feel it? The third thing is somatic work and building safety through the body. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself experience the things that you are feeling inside your body. And if you need something, you can move. Somatic work is with movement. You can move slowly, you can shake, it doesn't matter which movement, it's all the same actually. Another thing you can do, like the things that I do and that I love is hypnosis and subconscious reprogramming. That's also a thing that you can do to regulate your nervous system, because when you're going in an hypnotic state or you're doing subconscious reprogramming, your nervous system is always in a calm state, because if your nervous system isn't calm, you cannot go into your subconscious mind. So it also helps with regulating yourself. And the last important thing is creating a new baseline instead of constantly fighting the old one, by being with the old one and accepting the old one. And if you're feeling acceptance towards the old one, the one that you are in right now, you will automatically feel more calm and you will automatically feel more at peace, because at that point you are creating a new baseline you can hold more. If you can become calm in the thing that used to stress out, and you practice staying calm in something that stress you out, you will also build a new baseline. Yeah. Okay. One more thing. That's the reason why your nervous system has a big role in abundance and financial things. But that's also another podcast. I will stop here because I've told you a lot. Please, if you feel like you don't listen to everything, or it was a lot, or you cannot hold everything, please listen to this episode again, because it was a very big episode, and maybe I should make a part 1 and part 2 out of it, because I don't know yet. Maybe not. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I would love to have you on the next one. Let me know what you think about it, what you thought about this episode. If you know someone who has to hear this, or you can help with this episode, please send this to them. And I see you at the next episode. Thank you so much. Bye.